Hi guys, vítám vás zpátky na kanále Tajný uživatel a jak jste asi poznali z názvu. A dneska tady máme teda další výtažek z Epstein Files. Už jsem se smířila s tím, že to nebude ani jedno video, ani 2 videa, ani 3 videa, protože toho materiálu je jako extrémně moc, jako at the end of the day zveřejnili 3 miliony souborů, takže asi tam toho bude hodně na probrání. Každopádně dneska jsem teda vytáhla nějaké další věci, o kterých bych se s váma chtěla bavit. Další věc, která mi přijde jako úplně šílená a taky nevím vůbec, co si o tom mám myslet a mám tady poukládaných hodně videí na toto téma, takže doufám, že to tady spolu nějak jako rozklíčujeme, ale essentially, co se objevilo v Epstein Files je také to, že Jeffrey usiloval o to mít vlastně jakoby látku, která je na Kábě. Kaaba je taková ta černá kostka, ke které se modlí muslimové v Mece a má na sobě prostě nějakou látku. A Jeffrey Epstein chtěl získat tuhletu látku z té Kaaby. Taky má na ostrově udělanou takovou jakoby svoji napodobeninu té Kaaby a myslím si, že toto je opravdu něco hodně spirituálního a snažím se tomu jako porozumět a vlastně nevím vůbec ani kde začít. Takže tady mám na to uložených pár videí, takže pojďme se podívat.
So if you're into witchcraft or if you've ever been affected by black magic, then you know what's going on here. Basically, this is a conversation thread between the staff of Epstein and the staff of another lady called Aziz Al-Ahmadi. It isn't known why or where or what the reason behind this is, but Aziz Al-Ahmadi decided to send Epstein a piece of the kiswa. Now let me explain what the kiswa is. So this here is the Kaaba in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. The kiswa is this black and gold embroidered cloth that covers the entire cube. So this entire area, and it's much bigger than what's shown in the picture, is considered one of the holiest sites for Muslims. This black structure is where Muslims pray towards every single day, 5 times a day. You could be anywhere in the world and you will pray towards this structure, which is in the Holy Mosque. To be accurate, and before I move on to the actual files and what was said, it's an important distinction that's also a misconception that I have to address. This black structure here is not what Muslims worship or what they pray for. They pray to Allah, to God. However, this is their Qibla, and Qibla literally means direction. This is where Muslims all around the world direct their face when they start praying. That's all. That's what it is. So imagine how weird it is that a human trafficker, a murderer, a rapist, a Satanist decides that he wants this piece of cloth that signifies a lot to Muslims. So you could tell that a lot of the staff didn't know what they were talking about. The shipping staff, even Epstein's personal assistant or whoever Daphne is here, she didn't really know what was going on. She didn't know what this was because originally she had told the shipping company that this is the entire Kaaba. So she really thought that they were shipping the entire mosque to Epstein, which is just funny. She corrected it here. She's like, oh, it's just we're receiving 3 pieces of the Kaaba. And they went on to call it just artwork. That's how they declared it to customs. Rather than delving into the details here, which are funny sometimes and make no sense other times, I want to ask why. What is the significance of the kiswa to Epstein? You know that people that practice black magic will often cast a spell on someone's nails, their hair, pieces of their clothing, because they need something that traces back to them, their own body. Sometimes even your odor is enough. That means that if you wear a shirt one time and you give it to a magician to cast a spell on it and to practice their disgusting rituals, then they can actually affect you with black magic. And black magic, depending on what they're trying to do, will literally ruin your life. So this email was specifically interesting to me because it's a bit of an insinuation of what we're talking about right now. Aziz Al-Ahmadi here, who is really unknown, and it's unknown why she sent it or what he requested of her specifically, says to him, here's the attachment. And by the way, the black piece was touched by a minimum of 10 million Muslims of different denominations, Sunni and Shia. Why is this an important piece of information? Why? I mean, she could have said anything about the Kaaba, about the holy site, about Muslims, about anything they do there, anything they practice there. But this is what she starts with. There's 10 million Muslims that have touched this thing. And she goes on to double down on this. She says they walk around the Kaaba 7 rounds, then everyone tries as much as they can to touch it. And they keep their prayers, wishes, and tears and hopes on this thing. She mentions it, their prayers, wishes, and tears on this one piece specifically. So she's doubling down on the fact that impressions, let's call them, or the traces of Muslims, their touches, their tears, are actually on this piece of cloth. You can honestly believe what you want and you can say what you want, but this to me is not random. This can be random. What makes someone like Jeffrey Epstein, with all his power, all his connections, all his weird satanic rituals, think, oh, let me do this to Muslims? It's just strange to go as far as actually getting a piece of cloth from a place that he's prohibited from entering and doing this. And anyone that knows anything at all, even basic minimum stuff about magic, witchcraft, any of that stuff, knows that this is done. This stuff exists.
Pro mě tady tyhle ty Epstein files začínají být vlastně hodně eye-opening, i co se týče vlastně víry, náboženství. Já jsem vyrostla jako ateista. Myslím si, že většina z nás vyrostla jako ateisti. At the end of the day jsme nejvíc ateistická země na světě, takže na tom asi něco bude. Každopádně, tak nějak jakoby v průběhu života jsem si začala uvědomovat, že jako věřím, že něco určitě existuje, akorát proto nemám pojmenování. Což je vlastně kde jakoby stojím teďka, jo, že jakoby věřím v to, že nějaká vyšší síla určitě je, ale nemůžu jakoby říct, která z nich. A tady tohle to vlastně mě začíná jako otevírat oči v tom, jak vlastně naivní jsme jako lidi, my ateisti, že si nepřipouštíme nějakou jako, já nechci říkat jako nadpřirozenou věc, ale nějakou jako higher power, protože jsou fakt lidi, kteří si myslí, že prostě jako ne, nic takového neexistuje, prostě jsou čistě jako vědecky založení, což mimochodem jako jak můžeš vědět, že ta věda je pravdivá, jakoby jasně, já tady nechci jakoby teďka zpochybňovat vědu, ale jenom říkám, že nám bylo lháno o hodně věcech. A pokud někdo chce, aby nám bylo lháno nadále, tak nám nadále bude lháno. My jako jednotlivci essentially nemáme možnost si ověřit jakkoliv, cokoliv, o čemkoliv, takže prostě věříme tomu, co ta věda říká. Může nám lhát? Jasně, že může. Stejně jako tady jasně může být nějaká higher power, ať už je to Bůh, ať už je to vesmír, ať už je to Allah, cokoliv. Něco tady určitě musí být a tady tohle to mě vlastně v tom jakoby utvrzuje a snažím se jakoby teda přijít na to jako, co je to správné, co je to jako, většina Ameriky jsou křesťané, takže všichni mluví o tom, že se prostě jako modlí k Bohu a že Bůh je ta síla, ale když tady vidím jakoby Jeffrey Epsteina, který pokud se nepletu je žid, tak když tady vidím Jeffrey Epsteina, který má zájem o látku z jednoho z nejposvátnějších míst na světě, protože má v sobě tu energii, nedokážu si to vůbec představit, nedokážu si vlastně vůbec představit, jak to funguje, nedokážu si... Je to vlastně hrozně divné, že se tady bavíme o černé magii a rituálech a těch věcech absolutně seriózně. Je to trošku zvláštní, nebudu lhát, protože teďka musím actually zvažovat, že když tady tyhle ty elity, tady tihleti všichni prostě vysoce postavení jedni z nejmocnějších lidí na světě, někoho uctívají a někomu jako obětují ty lidi při těch rituálech a tady těch věcech, o těch rituálech se určitě ještě pobavíme, to je jako další věc, že to jako existuje a je to trošku jako shocking pro mě, protože je to pro mě furt takové jako napůl, jakože jo, možná to existuje, možná to neexistuje, ale tohle ukazuje spíš k tomu, že něco takového existuje a mě to trošku děsí.
So who exactly is this Saudi woman Aziza al-Ahmadi, the woman that sent Jeffrey Epstein the cloth that was covering the Kaaba? She considers herself a pioneering Saudi businesswoman and advisor to the royal court and owns an electronic gaming company. Apparently, they first got in touch when Epstein reached out to the royal court stating his intention to create an Islamic digital currency similar to Bitcoin to be called Sharia. They allegedly spoke more. She connected him with Saudi leaders and he connected her with influential American circles. And she later sent him pieces of the cloth that covered the Kaaba by saying that it was touched by a minimum of 10 million Muslims of different denominations, Sunni, Shia, and others. And then she says the cloth kept their prayers, wishes, tears, and hopes on this piece.
I completely stand by what I said. Yes, some objects can hold energy. They can hold barakah. And conversely, some objects can hold negative energy. That's why we're not allowed to have statues and pictures in our home, because they become vessels for jinn, evil jinn, negative energy. In the Quran itself, we are told that Yusuf alayhi salam said, "Take my shirt and cast it over my father's face so he can regain his eyesight." Now, why didn't he say, take this random piece of paper? He said, take my shirt. Because he is a prophet, his shirt has barakah in it. From who? From the permission of who? From the permission of Allah. Duh, no one's refuting this. And you can see this from the Sunnah and the Sahabis as well. They would keep the hair of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They would keep the water he did wudu with and drink that water. They would keep his sweat and use it as perfume. This is authenticated and verified. If it's not for you, that's fine. But do not assume that your fellow Muslim doesn't understand the fundamentals of our faith and we are being carried away with New Age. If you know anything about me, I am totally against New Age spirituality. Do not accuse a fellow Muslim of shirk from your own limitations of knowledge and your own ignorance. When I speak of energy, I am not talking about calories and kilojoules. I'm talking about an unseen energy that affects us psychologically and spiritually. To say that the covering of the Kaaba is just a cloth is to be extremely disrespectful, in my opinion. As Muslims, we're even taught how to dispose of paper and books that have the name of Allah on it. You can't just throw it in the garbage bin, okay? You have to burn it or bury it because that's the respectful way to handle it. Now imagine the covering of the Kaaba. You think, oh, it's just a piece of cloth. You're just so nonchalant. It's just like a nothing to you. To me, that's actually very disrespectful. I don't care that it was on that man's island. How do you think sihr works? There's a branch of magic that's all about getting objects from the person you want to victimize because that person's object holds their energy. And believing in this stuff is part of our faith. And everything happens only by the permission of Allah. So if you're the type of Muslim who only sees with your two physical eyes and you only believe in the material realm, my page is not for you. You're gonna hate it here, so peace out.
Já si budu hrozně vážit toho, pokud je tady někdo, kdo se v tomhletom vyzná a kdo by to možná mohl nějak rozebrat. Já určitě budu sledovat dál tady tyhle ty věci a zjišťovat o nich, protože upřímně teďka jsem s tím tak posedlá, že si nedokážu představit, že bych jako za týden nemyslela na tady tuhle tu černou kostku, kterou prostě hrozně obdivoval Jeffrey Epstein, že si na jeho ostrově postavil dům. Každopádně nebudu lhát, tady tyhle ty výrazy slyším úplně poprvé v životě a je to pro mě úplně nový koncept a nechápu. Takže pokud někdo víte víc, máte nějaké poznatky, pokud máte poznatky k čemukoliv, pište do komentářů, já si je čtu, vím, že vy si je určitě čtete taky. Pojďme to prostě zjistit.
The consequences from the latest Epstein files have officially begun. Lithuania has become the first country following the latest release to officially open an investigation into potential human trafficking. Over in Poland, their Prime Minister, Donald Tusk, he has now set up a new task force investigation into new evidence which suggests Epstein may have been linked to Russia's KGB in order to collect compromising information on the elites of the Western world. Over in the UK, one of the biggest political scandals in decades is unfolding after police launched a criminal investigation into Lord Mandelson. This is following documents suggesting that not only did he potentially give Epstein sensitive government information in 2009, but also he allegedly received $75,000 from him in 3 separate 25,000 transactions in 2003 and 2004. Lord Mandelson, who also served as US ambassador last year, has now been forced to resign from the Labour Party and the House of Lords. In Slovakia, their national security advisor to the country's prime minister has now also been forced to resign after the files showed that he had a text exchange with Epstein saying that he would take the MI girl, to which Jeffrey responded with, "You can have them both, I'm not possessive, and they're sisters." Over in the United States, Bill and Hillary Clinton have finally agreed to testify on their dealings with Jeffrey Epstein after months of refusing. And to make it even more interesting, their spokesperson said they look forward to setting a precedent that applies to everyone, suggesting more people could be next. The NFL said that they are now looking into the New York Giants co-owner, Steve Tisch, after emails suggested that Epstein scouted women for him. In the UK, police are now looking into new allegations against Andrew and has now officially had to move out of the Royal Windsor Lodge. And speaking of Drew, British tabloids have also had headlines this week saying that his ex-wife and former royal fled the country amidst the Epstein scandal. She is now looking for a new home overseas. But the question is, will more real consequences follow, or will all of this become a big pile of nothing?
Uvědomujeme si všichni, jak hrozně velká tahleta věc je a jak půjde dolů hodně lidí, nebo respektive doufám, ale nevím. Vzhledem k tomu, že Donald Trump stále dělá, že nic. Přitom je jeho jméno zmíněno v Epstein Files vícekrát, než je Ježíš zmíněn v Bibli. To je můj nový oblíbený quote. Jsme 2 měsíce v 2026. Let's go. Já jsem strašně zvědavá, jak se to bude vyvíjet. A jsem strašně zvědavá, co zjistíme ještě o Slovensku.
I've been reading the files and I found some code words that they use a lot and it's not normal. They talk about cream cheese a lot, especially vegetable cream cheese. And the next thing is sea grapes. They were buying 150,000 sea grapes. So many sea grapes. I don't know why you need to buy that many fucking trees. And I looked at a picture of Epstein Island. There was like only 2 sea grape trees on the entire fucking island. Anywho, also, what other word? Oh yeah, hunting. They used the word hunting, but I found a text thread. Jeffrey Epstein doesn't eat veal, deer, so what are they hunting? Hold on. And I also found something, it said in 2011, right after Michael Jackson died. Didn't Michael Jackson die in like 2009? And they keep talking about Michael Jackson like he's alive in like 2013, 2008. I was trying to say 2018, but it cut off.
Lidi, normálně další video bude muset být o Michaelovi Jacksonovi, protože to by mohlo být 10 videí. Jako Michael Jackson je trošku můj níž. A potom si uděláme video o všech celebritách, které se nás snažili celou dobu varovat. Desítky let zpátky a záhadně zemřeli. Všechno to najednou dává smysl, všechny ty konspirační teorie začínají dávat smysl. Speaking of konspirační teorie, narazila jsem na věc, kterou jsem upřímně nikdy předtím neviděla, ale co jsem tak pochopila, tak jakoby v rámci konspiračních teorií o celebritách a Hollywoodu je dost známý profesionální boxer Ryan Garcia, který essentially obětoval svoji kariéru pro to, aby mohl o těchto věcech mluvit a absolutně se tak jakoby zdiskreditoval před celým světem, protože ho všichni měli za blázna a roky mluvil o tady těchto věcech, o jezení dětí, o znásilňování, o únosech, o všem, co se dneska dozvídáme, tak on o tom mluvil roky a pak jednoho dne přišel a řekl, lidi, já o tom nemůžu mluvit. Prostě to neřešte, všechno jsem si to vymyslel. O tom taky teďka lidi říkají, že on měl pravdu celou dobu a možná ten Kanye nebyl blázen.
The kids, did you actually have videos of kids, things that
I do have videos.
You have videos?
Yes, we have videos.
Who has seen them? Who have you shown them to?
The guy Jacob, he has them. We're gonna go to Congress with it.
Has anybody else here seen them? Have you guys seen the videos?
No, they have not seen
You guys have never seen the videos? Okay, so you've not shown it to anybody else. It's just you and him that have.
Yeah.
Now, is it something you have access to or he has access to?
We both do.
You both have access to. Okay. Why haven't you shown it yet? If you have those videos?
I'm just not gonna put that on the internet. And then there's also other people that have videos and they're victims. But I'm not gonna put that on the internet. That's disgusting.
Jeffrey Epstein ain't the only island. Think about that. They do horrible things together so they don't snitch against each other, and they're rich so they hold each other accountable. If you say something, I'm gonna say something, and everything comes down.
Here to announce my return back to Instagram. Now, over these past couple of days, you guys have seen some pretty intense things. I understand what they are, and I don't understand what they look like. I'm not going to speak on any other topic other than boxing, sports, and my fight.
I'm okay. I'm not dead. I believe in Jesus. All those are lies. I don't know what's going on, but just know I'm okay. Look.
Are you okay? Are you okay? No, not really. Have you seen the things I've seen? Everybody who's saying I'm a loon, I'm not telling the truth, and anybody who tries to spin that narrative, you're working for the devil, another devil worshiper. Devil worshiper. I've already said so much. I've already put my life on the line for this, guys. I put my life on the line for this. Literally spies trying to spy me, people following me, people literally just watching all my moves. We can't let this go. Hashtag save the children, please. Everybody's like, release it. I can't be dumb, guys. I'm literally working with the highest politicians in Congress to take these people down. Because these people are eating children. This is disgusting. This is not okay. They're gonna kill our children if we let them. They can't touch me. I'm with God. Everybody's like, yo, be careful. What can they do to me? No weapon against me shall prosper. Bro, Ryan really needs the money? I don't have to box another day in my life, and I'm rich. And I'm also rich in Christ. Oh, they're raping little boys, little kids, little girls. They're literally feasting over their bodies. I literally know they're doing this. They literally have plates and they're eating little kids. What? So I'm taking all of them down. One by one, every single person. They touched me as a baby. They should have never touched me. They should have never touched me. It's up now. A million, I wish I could give a million fuck yous.
Bring awareness to very important things like child sex trafficking that happens so much around the world. That's a real thing. And my voice is for the people that, you know, they don't have a voice, you know, so I'm called as a Christian to speak for those that are, you know, oppressed and can't talk for themselves. So I choose to defend little kids that don't have a voice, you know.
This is the dark truth of the world we live in, and everybody wants to act like it's not happening, but there's little kids that are screaming for help.
To je šílené. A jakože mind you, sport a tady tyhle ty věci, box, všechny tady tyhle ty male-dominated industries, tam není normální se bavit o znásilňování a říct, že jsi byl obětí znásilnění ještě jako muž. To, že týpek si reálně zničil celou svoji kariéru boxera kvůli tomu, že chtěl mluvit o tom, co se mu stalo a co zažil a co viděl. That speaks volume, takže absolutně nepochybuju. Věřím tomu. A věřím tomu, že je tady spoustu dalších lidí, stejně jako Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber a jeho yummy videoklip a celé to jeho promo, které se skládalo z malých miminek. To byla taky konspirační teorie a teďka to všechno do sebe zapadá.
Don't be drawn into the Ep files, folks. As horrific as the stuff is that you're seeing and witnessing, ask yourself this. They have had control of that information for a long time. Why have they decided to release it now? You can bet your bottom dollar, and it's probably to do with the fact that they want you looking this way whilst there's something huge that's going on that they don't want you paying attention to. The whole situation transcends politics and the political system. This is across the board on both sides of the political spectrum, and it is global. It is all around the world. So the idea that at the next election, it's okay, we can just vote for the other side and everything will be okay, these guys are the good guys, it doesn't matter. Surely the information that's come out is showing you why is it so shocking? Because if it was just about releasing the information, they'd release all the files. They still held on to 1 million of them. They've only just dropped, I think, the second third of the drops that they've done. Why are they holding on to the information? They're doing it because it's designed to distract you from the bigger picture. So what's the big? Well, there's something global that's going to take place in 2026 that's going to affect the whole world. And they don't want you paying attention to it. So they decided to drop these shocking files out there just so everybody is focused on that and not keeping an eye on what's going to be happening in 2026, which will affect the entire world, folks.
Tím bych to asi i ukončila. To bylo v podstatě něco, co jsem říkala a co si myslím, že essentially se děje. Ahoj, kočičko, prosím tě, nechoď sem. Nechoď. Co jsem v podstatě říkala na začátku a myslím si, že se něco velkého dít bude, ale nedokážu si vůbec představit, co by to mohlo být. Myslím si, že v kolektivním vědomí je ta myšlenka už dlouho, že se k něčemu schyluje, ale já už si upřímně nedokážu představit, co by to mohlo být, protože od roku 2019, kdy začal covid, po kalifornských požárech, po všech tornádech, hurikánech, P. Diddy, Jeffrey Epstein, já už nevím normálně, co by se mohlo jako stát. Máte někdo nějaké predikce? Let me know in the comments. Opět, pokud se vám tady tohleto video líbilo, pokud vás to bavilo, pokud mě chcete podpořit, budu moc ráda za like, komentář a samozřejmě zviditelnění, pokud se díváte v mobilní aplikaci a pokud to u tohohle videa bude možné, protože tohleto jsou trošku ošemetná témata. Nicméně to je ode mě dneska vše a uvidíme se příště. Bye!